Hey, welcome back to Sacred Soulmates. I am your goddess Euphoria. Over here on this channel, we celebrate sacred, divine, loving unions, and we don't make no justifications, no excuses for any of that karmic twin flame BS. Like, we go ahead and weed all of that out and speak directly to what's going to get you onto level ground in a state of self-love so that you can be united with the soulmate who actually mirrors you and is not just a refraction of the soul that is actually made to walk this complementary journey with you. Now, watch the second video on this channel if you want to understand a little bit more about what I mean when I say that a twin flame is just like a refraction, like a warped projection of what a soulmate would actually be for you. But we'll go ahead and get into the one today. I read based on the chakra points, not all of them, but the ones that we all collectively kind of know of, from the crown to the root chakra. And what's crowning this reading is wisdom. And green is associated with the heart chakra. And wisdom is like somebody, I'm getting like age differences or age gap. Is somebody older, maybe the oldest person you've ever talked to, or somebody is interested in someone who is older than they usually are interested in. Like maybe somebody is not really able to mesh well with people in their same peer group for whatever reason, so they may go for someone usually younger. Or if they're the one who is usually the older person in the relationship, they're finding someone closer in age. So it's something just about age there and wisdom that comes along with it. And that's because they like your experience. It's something about you that it speaks to their mind. There's heavy mental energy here, and it's stabilizing, it's balancing. You may have been helping this person get through something or a phase in their life that they needed to work through in order to mature more themselves. So there is this kind of like connection to you, and it's a connection that can't be broken because it's kind of rooted in appreciation for the wisdom that you've given them on their journey. But yeah, it could be older man, younger woman dynamic, or it could be that a man who usually deals with younger women has finally found someone who is like closer in age to him. And, your experience as an older woman may be more appealing to him than like the younger girls that he's used to dealing with. So it's, one way or the other is how that goes. And, flip it vice versa, women and men. It could be a cougar type dynamic. Or vintage woman, because I'm seeing Dion Cole and Stephanie Mills in that Breakfast Club moment that they had, like a vintage woman. Or you could be a younger woman who has a more older spirit than other women her age, and that could be what is attracting this person to you so much. Vice versa, it could be a younger man, but he has a lot of wisdom on him from his life experiences, and that's making him attractive to a woman who usually wouldn't date somebody younger than her. It's one of those type of dynamics. Take it as it resonates. Now, before I go through each of these cards individually, I'm noticing this pattern where it's wands, knives, wands, knives, wands. Wands, knives, wands, knives, wands. And it's like somebody may have had to go through a lot in life, but everything that they've gone through has been a lesson to them. It's not somebody who succumbs to the trials or the tribulations. They power through it, and they come through it with, real wisdom, with real lessons. And that is the very thing that is attracting somebody into you. The fact that you don't sit like in a victimhood state of mind. You don't use your hurt feelings to go out and hurt other people. Oh, I've been cheated on. I'm finna dog the rest of these niggas out. Or, that bit did me wrong, so not every bit got to feel it. Like, what's the purpose in that? And this person could even been guilty of that himself. Like maybe he had like blocked his heart off. Or maybe this, feminine had blocked her heart off because of things that have happened in their life. And then they come along and they meet somebody who is rooted in self-love and who doesn't see themselves as a victim, but of a victor. And they see that victorious spirit in you, powering through all types of shit. And maybe even things that you hadn't told them personally. For some reason, I'm getting that maybe this person has been offered like a kind of like backdoor view into what you got going on, or a back room view. I don't know exactly what that means for anyone individually, but I'm getting that somebody has been offered a position like where you can't see them, but they can kind of look into what you've had going on. I don't know if this is somebody, like if it's an older person who, or somebody who is like, a more professional, because sometimes that has like an older energy too. somebody who is in some type of profession where they could like, not in like a creepy stalker type of way, but they would be able to kind of see what you've been through and kind of, look over the course of your journey and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Or, dang, I didn't even know that they was going through that at this time. So it's that type of energy, like somebody being offered like I won't say back door because we kind of have a different connotation with back door, but kind of like a back office or a back room view. You know what I'm saying? Like an inside scoop. Somebody's been offered an inside scoop. Maybe they know somebody that, is like a mutual acquaintance between the both of you. And whoever that mutual acquaintance is was able to tell them something about you that they didn't know. And it kind of maybe changed their perspective about you and kind of showed just how mature you are or just how much you've come through and how you kind of transmute everything into a lesson that, builds you up. You don't take anything and make it feel like you're a victim. You take it and you learn from it. Um, Also, it could be like the energy of somebody finding out some social media platform that you're on, and maybe they're like reading back through your post, and you know how sometimes we get in those moods, especially like further back in the day. Like if you've had the same social media profiles for like years and years, if you go back, you may have some stuff that you may be kind of like a little bit embarrassed by, but somebody scrolling back that far and being able to see like your journey of ascension or of maturing over time is kind of giving them a different level of understanding for who you are at the point that they met you. And it's basically like an energy of somebody getting more context about who you are, and it's kind of helping them to figure out who it is that you are and how you got the wisdom that you have, or they're seeing the wisdom that you have based on what you've been through. But that kind of, backstage or inside scoop energy, all of that is here. Like somebody seeing something from the background or somebody seeing something from a point of view that you may not even be aware of, but they're learning more about you by looking at what it is that you've been through or looking at your journey. And they're inspired by it. They're attracted to it. Somebody who is always about progression and growth. They're also seeing your leadership skills. This is in the third eye chakra position, the Father of Wands. And they're seeing like how much more advanced I'm getting than people in your age range. Again, it's a big thing about ages. Take any of those situations that I talked about at the very beginning, and it's something about the ages or just the maturity at your age. And it's showing that you kind of are a leader amongst your peers, or you stand out amongst people that are usually in your same age range or who do the same things that you do. It's just something that's really different that stands out. And it's highly attractive. And they also are kind of maybe at this time going back and forth about, well, if I see this in this person, then I'm sure other people see this in this person. So they could be thinking about competition that they may have to deal with in terms of like coming forth and, entering into a connection with you. So they could be strategizing on that and trying to present their best selves to you at this time. And that's not always a bad thing. Some people will show up as a representative and, just tell you what you want to hear up front. But this is somebody with that third eye chakra. Is like they're really looking forward into their future and thinking like, what would I have to do to be able to meet the standards of someone who's already done it all, seen it all. Like that's kind of the energy that they're getting from you at this time. Like she done seen it all, done it all. That's she ain't going for no nonsense, or she won't be going for like no weak game, or he done dealt with all types of women. What is it about me that I could present to him that would show him that I'm not like the rest? So these could be thoughts that the person is kind of, ruminating over at this time, because they see that you are kind of, not saying it specifically like that, but it is kind of like out of my league type energy. Like this person may see you at this moment like it's out of their league. And ain't nothing wrong with being inspired to like pick yourself up. It ain't like you yourself is out here trying to change nobody. It's like you, just who you are, inspire someone to level up. That's the energy that's here with this. Now in the throat chakra position, it's the 10 of knives. And again, it's like somebody getting access to information and seeing that, damn, this person done really been through some stuff. Like you may have been through backstabbings, or you've been through gang stalking situations. You come through maybe those thoughts of, the suicides, not wanting to be here anymore. And it's just everything that comes forth from you now comes from a really deep place, because you've seen the darkness. You're someone who has done the shadow work, or you're interested in someone who has done the shadow work and had to go through hard times. So you're able to just respect who they are today, because you know what they came from. Sometimes when you see people and it's easy to look good these days. Everybody can be beautiful. If you ain't naturally born with that shit, you can go and sit on somebody's table and get that shit done and make yourself look good. But it's a certain depth that you have that this person is just not used to. They're not used to people being able to overcome things. They may even, like with the age gap situation, if it's somebody that's used to dealing with people that are younger than them, they may be used to people who, the slightest inconvenience, and this person is like emotionally unstable and crying and panicking and not knowing what to do. And then they meet you and you got all of these responsibilities and burdens and shit, and you still look good. It's given the energy of, I don't look like what I've been through. And you don't look like what you've been through, and you also don't speak from a place of like trauma and pain and hurt and, vengeance and, being conniving and sour or bitter. You don't have that bitterness, and somebody is really attracted to that because they are used to seeing that in other people, either in their age group. Like I said, a lot of men sometimes don't want to deal with women in their age group because that little girl quality about them is long gone. That bitch, that little bitch then laid to rest. Like, it'd be like an old bitter bitch, by the time they get up in age. And men don't really want to deal with that. They always want that like kind of sweet, playful, butterflies and flowers, flowy dresses, kind of girlish quality about their women. And there is no, the wisdom at the top is right off back saying that there ain't none of that like pedophilia and none of that shit involved with it. It ain't somebody who want to deal with minors. It's just, sometimes men want younger women because younger women ain't tainted by the world yet. And why should he have to, deal with a bitter bitch just because she messed with somebody who broke her heart in her younger years? You wasted your youth on somebody playing with you because you had not found self-love. That's not that man's fault. Same thing for women. Like, you wasted your youth not doing nothing, not being productive. Now you're a grown man and you real dependent. This woman shouldn't be, required to take care of you because you fucked off all your youthful years when you could have been building something. So it's like that. Like, somebody sees what you've been through, but they also see how you transmute it. They see how you use it to lead others, or that you see it, they see that you use it to establish strong boundaries, to assert yourself out in this world. You're not gonna fold over no small shit. Again, they could be used to people who every little trouble come their way, they all over the place, like for a feminine energy. Or women could be used to a man who you just can't seem to get it together, like you always getting in trouble. As soon as somebody tests your little ego, you going to jail. You still 40, 50, 60 years old going back and forth to jail because you don't know how to control your liquor, or you don't know how to control your attitude when you at like functions and cookouts and shit. It's always that rowdy old nigga who need to sit down somewhere. And it's like we're moving away from that energy and moving into being rooted in self-love and finding sacred soulmate connections where we both are rooted in self-love. We both have our experiences and we can meet each other in the middle in balance. In balance. Because somebody is used to being around imbalanced people. Like, those people who don't do no inner work. It's like everything is always somebody else's fault. They made me go off and, that fuck nigga was talking shit. He made me go off on him. Like, you 50 years old. What you mean somebody made you? You know what I'm saying? Or a girl, well, he broke my heart and I can't be in my feminine grace. Like, I need a man to put me in my feminine area. What you mean? How is a masculine gonna put you in your feminine? You either are that or you're not. You come across masculine men when you rest in femininity. Can't nobody put you in your feminine era. And it's like, it's just a whole lot of common sense between both parties. It's a whole lot of common sense. And that's why the attraction is there. The heart chakra is the 8 of Wands. Like, it's instant attraction. It's like when you see somebody who just gets it. That energy has kind of just been permeating around me lately. It's just been lingering. Like a sacred soulmate connection is someone who just gets it. They get me, I get them. It's like we don't have to do all of that gender wars back and forth. Well, somebody hurt you, so I'm here to restore you, and now I got to baby you and build you up because of what some other motherfucker did. Like, it's none of that. It's somebody who's done the work, done the shadow work, and they stand whole on their own. They're two holy spirits. When I talk about a holy spirit, I talk about a being, a self-actualized human being who has their own soul, their own interest, their own hobbies, their own talents, their own gifts, their own work ethic, their own resume, their own track record of experiences. This is somebody who's got stories to tell. If y'all go out on a date, you not just, both in y'all phone scrolling social media or, looking off quiet and awkward. It's like y'all actually have shit to talk about. So the connection is easy. Like the momentum is easy to pick up with this. Y'all would be in divine timing because when it comes together, it's just like, it's a blessed union, is it ain't no blaming each other. It ain't no competition with one another. It's that complementary pairing. When two distinct beings come together in perfection. Complementary means that, there's two parts that come together and something is made perfect by the two parts coming together. Separate, there's something missing. But together is like it's made perfect in perfect love. You can have self-love all day, but we come here to interact with other people and to have these sacred union, connections and stuff. It's just what it is. And that's what's here. I'm looking at these two little things here. I don't know if it's like what those little things that be rolling in the desert. It's like both of you may have been, in a landscape where it just seemed like it was dry and it ain't nobody who's really fitting your needs. And you just kind of just out here living life, maybe entertaining people, but not taking nothing too seriously. One or both may have been in periods of celibacy. It's just not being nurtured the way you want to. And then you cross paths and it's like, that's it. That's what I've been looking for. So somebody is coming across that energy of that is what I've been looking for. And it may come in a different packaging that someone is used to. Again, the person may be older than they're used to dating. The person may be younger than they're used to dating, but they just have a more mature mentality. But it's something that's unique about it because each of these people are individuals, like truly Aquarian energy individuals. And in that age of Aquarius, that's going to be really what sets you apart from everybody anyway. It's a bunch of people who don't do nothing but follow the crowd right now. So if you're somebody who got your own personality, you got your own way of speaking, you got your own lingo, you got your own business going, you have your own ideas and you making the moves to work towards it. You just are a much more interesting person because you got more motion than these folks. I was saying it's like those little tumbleweeds. That's what it is, like tumbleweeds blowing in the wind. And those tumbleweeds then travel far and wide. So when you cross paths with somebody who has also had like a long, interesting journey, it's like you want to sit with that person and y'all want to like, I just heard politic, but it's not really like, you ain't trying to politic in terms of like, controlling someone else's thoughts or whatever, but it's more like getting together and seeing like, how can my experiences plus your experiences come together and create this new world or this new plane of existence, this new love where we both flourish. Because I know things that you don't know. You know things that I don't know. But the things that you know have done pretty damn good for you. The things I know have done pretty damn good for me. What happens if we bring both of these valuable mentalities, both of these abundant spirits together? It ain't gonna do nothing but multiply. And that's what I mean by a union where two come together and it is made perfection, the perfection of love. And that's what we got going on here. This what's up. I like it because there's a sweetness to it, but it's not like that Hallmark, gone with the wind, head in the clouds type romance. Like it's earthy. And that Father of Wands is wand energy, fiery energy, but look at all of that green landscape. And you can see the shadows of here of people watching. So somebody can also see that you have people that really be paying attention to what you say, or that you have the type of personality that, how you just meet somebody and be like, you need to be in front of people. You need to be something. Like, you know what? You're going to be something one day. Like one of those, like, it's an instant thing. It's like you see that person. It's like, it's something about you. Like you meant to do more. And somebody is like thinking of ways that they can, come into union with you and help you do more. And also thinking of ways that what you provide will enhance them so that they can do more. Ain't nothing wrong with, getting something from another person. It's not like a using situation because there is reciprocity here. In the solar plexus position is the daughter of knives. And that's that strong will, again, with that age thing, like somebody's just much more youthful than what they look like. And that could be why somebody is, They may be dating someone who is closer in age than they're used to, but the person who's closer in age, like, a man may be interested in an older woman, but she looked more young, behaves more young, still has that fresh youthfulness about her, more so than young girls who done been, ran through already, or who got like a heavy body count, so they wrestling with all of these spirits and stuff inside of them, versus maybe a more mature or vintage lady who keeps herself clean and believes in celibacy and ain't no victim and takes control of her life. You have a more girlish spirit than people who are younger than you. And the same, like, for a man, like, let's say he's a younger man, but he's always been on his own, or he got out of his mama's house at a young age. And I'm getting like maybe it's some military experience here with all the knives and wands, because that could be like combat and battle. So it could be somebody who has like military experience, or maybe he had military parents and he moved around a lot. That could be the reason why he has like a wealth of experiences and stories. Government positions. I was talking about somebody having a position where maybe they can get to see someone's background. Some people run background checks on people that they're interested in. That's not weird to me, as long as you're not a weird person. Because in this type of world we in, you just never know. Sometimes people be married. It'd be 3 to 5 years into the marriage, and you still don't really know who laying beside you every night. So I don't think that's weird, but it could be a situation where somebody has like access to background information. I just heard private investigator. That may be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe this person is a private investigator or he has people who could, let's say this person is, like really influential in the city, like local celebrity type of shit, or, they got a little pool. I'm kind of hearing like mafia ties. Whoa. Cartel shit. Whoa. But I don't know if it's specifically that, or if somebody just has a lot of connections over the course of their lifestyle and their career. They've made a lot of connections. I'll say it that way. But they may be able to get information on someone that, the average Joe wouldn't just know up front. And then there's this energy of somebody, maybe they have, because I'm looking at this wisdom card and I'm thinking old money. So somebody may be from a family that got old money, and maybe they would have those connections where they can kind of get, the background on somebody and, do their research on somebody, to just kind of see what this person has been through. I don't know. If it's not like that, it's like somebody has enough funds where they wouldn't mind like paying extra money for like a background check, or, it's like some of those apps where you can like pay a premium, and they'll like compile all of one social media person's posts and stuff. So instead of you spending hours just, scrolling through and risking the fucking feed refreshing, and you having to start from the top and scroll all the way back and stuff, maybe it's some type of way where that information is compiled using some type of app or AI service, like some type of paid service to do it. Y'all know the way AI is now, it's easier than ever to get information on somebody. So that's very specific, but that's what's coming forth, because the Daughter of Knives can also indicate like some type of news or some type of like feed of information. And if somebody has, the funds to pay for it, then, maybe they will do it. Maybe when they first ran into you, it was kind of hard to believe, because I'm kind of getting like a too good to be true energy. Like somebody was like, nah, this person can't really be like that for real. Like they hiding something. And lo and behold, they do their little research and they realize, oh, okay, this person really done been through some shit, or this person really has like a solid, background, or, they have done a lot in their life. They have a wealth of experiences. Maybe that's why they talk so good. Because I'm kind of getting somebody may have been a little bit cautious, Ten of Swords, like really cautious and kind of weary or leery, I guess I should say, of the way you speak. Like maybe somebody was like, nah, they too quick. They think on their feet too quick. Because, a lot of times men, when they see women who are like quick on their feet and who have like a lot of wisdom, they think that you like kind of like some Jezebel, or you out to get them or some shit like that. Because a lot of these bitches be dumb. I'm so sorry. Not that sorry, but it's probably a better way I could have said that. But, no way would be as true. Because I'm going to hit you in your front, not your back. Okay? But so if you You talking to somebody, you chopping up with a man, and you funny, or like you actually are funny, because again, a lot of women don't really be funny like that. So if you really are funny, you making him laugh, like laugh for real, like the nigga find himself giggling too many times, he could be like, whoa, wait a minute, what you trying to do? Like, it's a video on social media going around now where this dude is talking to this girl, and she lean and whisper something in his ear or whatever, and they start laughing and stuff, and he catch himself mid laugh like, nah, you trying to make me fall in love with you. So it could have been that type of energy, like somebody found himself just falling really, really fast with that Eight of Wands energy, because you do have wisdom on you, which means you say things that this man ain't never heard nobody else say before, especially no woman that may be younger than him, or this young man. This young man is coming around your house, and you like, I can't trust these YNs or whatever, but he really is a respectable man, he's just younger than you. It's like one of those situations that's playing out right now. With the sacral chakra, we have the Seven of Wands. So it is like, that energy of somebody wanting to just make sure that they protect themselves, that this really isn't too good to be true, that they, don't allow themselves to get carried away, off on a whim, and that they make sure that they keep their feet planted. And that in itself is showing that they too have wisdom, that they not just going for any old thing. So if you feel like somebody may be like pulling back right now, that don't necessarily mean that they trying to get you to come into a runner chaser type dynamic. Don't be the one who is so traumatized by those karmics that you don't see when somebody is just using their wisdom to make sure that they don't fall head over heels for a trap. That's kind of the energy that's coming out right now, because rooted is the emperor. It's like king shit. It's like big shit popping, little shit stopping. So if somebody feels like, nah, it's too good to be true, let me pull back a little bit, and let me make sure I ain't going too hard or going too heavy. That's the strategy of somebody who's been through some shit. The emperor has fought many battles, won many wars. That's why he can sit like as a general, or as a king, or as the one over the kings. Like, he can sit as a top dog because he has war strategy. But this specific deck has a woman in the emperor's seat, and the emperor to be is her son. So you could have a son, a woman who has a son. Maybe that's the new things for him. Maybe he hasn't dealt with a mother before. Maybe this man is used to dealing with women who don't have children yet. Maybe he was one of those men who thought it was, or one of those men's. Maybe he was one of those men folk who thought that, dealing with a woman who already had children would mean that she comes with all type of ties to, like, baby daddy drama and stuff like that. But there's so much wisdom again about you. Like, you don't behave like other women who have children, or he saw how you talk to your son, or he saw how you co-parent with the other parent, and he's like, okay, I mean, I fuck with that. Like, she ain't trying to keep the son, away from the dad. She ain't trying to, like, always worry about how much he making, so she can have the judge up his child support, so she don't have that gold digger about her. It's just somebody has had time and opportunity, and maybe possibly a position of being able to sit back and collect information, but not like on some stalker type shit, but to make sure that they're actually moving forward in a direction that is wise for them, because they got something to lose too. And if they find themselves falling fast and falling hard for somebody, off of just communication, because I don't feel like it even been no intimacy yet. That celibacy thing keeps coming up. And maybe like y'all, dead ass in a real way, maybe both of y'all just too busy like doing what you're supposed to do to even have come together and had the time to really like lock in to the point of creating a situation where intimacy is involved. So if somebody is finding himself falling that hard and he ain't even tasted the cookie, they ain't even had the stick yet, they like, whoa, wait a minute, let me pump my brakes, because they don't want to be like these balloons and just, coming up off their feet for something that's going to end up like this. Because they're somebody who don't like to walk around in no victimhood, space. They're not somebody who, they not bitter like that. And this kind of person wants to keep themselves in a state of peace. And they want to stay in a state of not having my heart broken, not being around here sounding like a broken record, talking about what somebody did to me. They don't want to do that. So it's wise that they plant their feet on solid ground and not get caught up in no nonsense. So they give themselves time to, kind of check the scene, check the lay of the land, and make sure that everything is good, that ain't nothing spoiled in the milk. And that's good strategy. That's good strategy. Like, if you desire to build a kingdom with your equal, well, not even with your equal, with your complement, the one who complements the pair in a complementary union, if you seek to build a kingdom like that, like, you need to make sure you ain't inviting in no riffraff. And I'm really getting that the woman was the one who, because I'm talking about how women don't really be funny like that. And a lot of women, it just is what it is. Like, it's the quality ain't there. Like, I'm hearing, like, I'm the prize, but it's been a long time since females have been the prize, and it just is what it is. Like, I'll give you a prime example. I go to Goodwill because I do reselling. Like, I buy stuff for the cheap, flea markets, thrift stores, auctions, whatever, and I resell it online. Just, an additional hustle in addition to my profession as a court reporter. And I've been reselling since I was young. I've been doing that. But it's getting like, I'm in Goodwill and I go to the men's section first, looking through all types of Tommy Bahama shirts and, silk ties and just really high quality fabrics and suits and stuff like that. Get over to the women's section. When I tell you, it's miles and miles and rows of Shein and Fashion Nova and cheap ass plastic. Women don't even, for the most part, a lot of these girls out here don't even know what quality fabrics are these days. Like, it be so cheap. Everything is just so cheap. Like, it ain't no quality. Go to the shoe section. Men got all, the quality boots, the leather hard bottoms and all of this shit. Of course, the high quality tennis shoes. The women's section, it's a whole bunch of like strappy, cheap ass sandals, slides and shit. It's some heels, but ain't none of them no real brand. It's just like low quality. And I'm like, look at this shit. Even in a thrift store, look at this shit. And that's really like the state of society. It was like a microcosm that matched the macrocosm. Like, femininity has been so washed up and watered down, and you can't tell these bitches nothing because of, what was wrong with Shein and that was that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Your voice when you irritated annoy me. That could be something that this man is used to dealing with. And then to come across somebody who got their shit together, who knows quality, who holds herself up, like queen status, empress status, even to the point of being able to raise a son who is respectful, who is, doing things with his life, who speaks well, who has a great sense of humor, just a well-rounded son. And it's like somebody is highly attracted to somebody that they never would have probably looked at before. Just having had those experiences with the women who are victimized, and if they don't get that child support, they're gonna be struggling. And then you come across somebody who really don't need child support to be making it and still has a good relationship with the son. Or even better than the child support thing is co-parenting with the child's father, or vice versa, child's mother, whatever it may be. I'm just feeling like it's maybe an older male who is finding a woman who is either younger and on her shit, or who is interested in a woman who is older than the type of women that he usually dates, because he usually would want, somebody who is younger so that he feels like he can kind of mold her into what he would need her to be to fit his lifestyle. And I don't have nothing wrong with that either. Man, we all grown out here. I'm not defending no grown ass woman. She got her own mind. So if you want to go and be molded by somebody, then you're going to go and be molded by somebody. I can't say nothing to defend you. And don't no grown ass woman need defending. Just like women say that don't no grown ass man need nobody to raise him. Well, okay. Well, don't no grown ass woman need to be defended. I don't need to be a part of no feminist movement to defend no grown ass woman. That ain't my fault. That bitch grown. She got her own mind. That's what Tip said. That's what he say, So it's that type of energy. But somebody sees the leadership qualities in another person, and I guess after they were able to set some time apart from this person, or maybe, fade into the shadows and kind of watch, or, background checks, or, ask around mutuals and shit like that. Whatever way they have of getting their information is like they're able to see that, oh, okay, it wasn't just This person is some slick talker, some fast talker. This ain't just, some sex worker, because sex workers be having that game for your ass. A woman who's into sex work got more game than any man. I don't care if that man is a whole pimp. A woman who's into sex work got more game. Because first off, the female mouth area is more attractive anyway than a man with the full lips and and all of that stuff. Women can do stuff and say stuff that men can't say. So that's all I'm saying. It's solid. It's solid. And somebody's ready to make a decision. They're ready to move forward on somebody who already had their heart. They just had to make sure that they weren't letting their heart get away from them. This is not somebody who leads with their heart. They lead with their head. They make clear and balanced decisions. Like they value wisdom. And somebody could have actually gone to some elders about it and kind of asked for their, not even just their blessing, but kind of just asked for their opinion about a woman. Like, hey, I know this woman and da da da. She got, she already got a kid or she got kids and da da da. Maybe she's a little older than what I'm used to. They could have also been a situation where it was the old heads that were once telling him, you don't want no woman with no children because this is blase blase. And then this person is coming with information and showing them like, nah, this one, like, really, she really like that. Like, she really has wisdom. She really got a good head on her shoulders. Like, she ain't been tainted and ruined by the world. Or, vice versa. A woman hanging around aunties and stuff, they may tease you about, you a cougar, you like them YNs or whatever. But you was like, nah, this one, like, he really got a good head on his shoulders. Like, he's very disciplined. He's a hard worker. He's a protector and a provider. Even if he's younger, like, that's a grown man type situation. So all is well in the kingdom. Shout out to Mama D. Yeah, it feels like everything is right where it needs to be. Like, somebody has gotten the point of view that they need to be able to be certain that, yeah, I want to move forward with this. I want to build with this person. Like, it wasn't just my mind playing tricks on me. Like, this person really does have the type of personality, the type of character, the type of behavior that I can really see myself, rising in love with. You fall in love with yourself, you rise in love with your soulmate. Like, they can see themselves ascending to higher heights, elevating, upgrading. Let me upgrade you. Like, they can see themselves upgrading. And just like with Jay-Z and Beyonce, it's something about like the feminine has like, she may have also had, her trials and things that made her strong and that made her wise before her time. But it's something about the guy's background. It's something that people may generally frown upon it if they knew exactly what type of background he came from. And that don't necessarily mean like, cartel mob ties, but it could just be, if his whole family was like police officers and stuff. In this day and age, like, folks don't really be fucking with 12 like that. So you'd be like, or if, he comes from like a long, military family or whatever, and, you somebody with wisdom and you don't really trust the government like that. It's like, so it's something about the masculine side of the family or the masculine's family or background that would seem on the surface to clash with the background the feminine has lived. But again, these two differing perspectives that come together, like Romeo and Juliet without the trauma, because heavy on without the trauma. The sacred soulmates don't be with the trauma. The trauma has already been healed and handled and transmuted before the sacred soulmates ever even come together. They both stand solidly in self-love, and then they create a plane of existence where they can both come together in perfect love. So yeah, I think I'll stop it right there. See y'all on the next one. Bye.